the government is still guaranteeing over $2,400 a month in rent on properties that are selling for under $75,000. And you're asking where? Most investors have absolutely no idea that these markets exist. This property right here purchased well below replacement cost, government-backed guaranteed rent, positive monthly cash flow. This one you can get for $12,000 down, over $2,000 a month, paid for and approved by the federal government. This one, under $80,000 purchase price, with rent numbers most investors would never believe unless they saw the actual payment standards themselves. And while investors are fighting over overpriced rentals in the same crowded cities, there are still markets across the United States in parts of Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Missouri, Alabama, Mississippi, and other parts of the Midwest and South where the numbers are completely different. It's time to put the economics in your favor. That's exactly why we study new markets every single week. Because once investors flood into a market, the prices start going up and the spreads disappear. And right now, there are still good markets where acquisition prices are low, government-backed rents are high, demand is massive, and the cash flow is extremely strong. And that's the opportunity. And that's exactly why we help investors through our Section 8 acquisition system. In fact, if we don't help you acquire and launch a cash flowing Section 8 property within 45 days, you don't pay. Now, here's the part that most people completely miss. The opportunity is not just buying cheap houses. Anybody can look up a cheap house and buy it online. The real opportunity is buying in zip codes where the rent formulas and acquisition prices create massive spreads. That's a real game because in certain markets right now, the government may approve $1,800, $2,000, $2,200, even $2,400 a month on properties that investors are still acquiring for under $75,000. When you combine that low purchase price, low down payments, strong monthly rent, and government-backed income, the cash flow becomes extremely attractive. And let me give you another tip. Jackson, Mississippi, markets like this, these are below replacement cost and appreciating at more than 32% a year over year. We have articles to prove it. That's why investors are aggressively listening to us and using our teams to find, locate, and acquire properties in these markets right now. Now, obviously, this is not the same as some get-rich-quick business. You still need the right properties, the right markets, the right renovations and inspections, and the right execution. And that's where the majority of investors fail. They buy the wrong properties, they overpay, they choose bad areas, they fail inspections, they underestimate renovations, or they spend years watching videos online and never actually buy anything. Meanwhile, investors that work with us are quietly locking in government-backed monthly income checks every single month. Now, another thing that most people get completely wrong is they think that all Section 8 means bad neighborhoods or bad tenants. That's not true. The reality is that market selection is everything. There are specific areas where the demand is massive, waiting lists are years long, payment standards are strong, and the acquisition opportunities still exist. And that's why we constantly study new markets. Any market in America, you want to take a look, we're happy to pull the numbers. We're going to pull the payment standards, cash flow projections, acquisition opportunities, rent spreads, demands, property managers, appreciation trends, inspection standards. We have the teams, we have the systems, we have the experience. And we help investors like you identify where the numbers actually make sense right now. Because this changes market to market, zip code to zip code, street to street. That's why execution matters more than everything. And that's why speed matters, because once these markets mature, the opportunities change completely. That's exactly what already happened in many major US cities that you might have heard of. The investors who moved early won big. The investors who waited or are buying at dramatically higher prices than the people who get in before the major markets turn with the lower cash flow. That's why investors are aggressively targeting these markets that we recommend today. Now, here's what we help investors do. We help investors identify the right markets, underwrite the right deals, coordinate renovations, navigate inspections, place tenants, and launch cash flowing Section 8 rentals. And again, if we don't help you acquire and launch a cash flowing Section 8 property within 45 days, don't pay us. If you want to see what markets we're targeting, the actual numbers, expected down payments, financing structures, projected cash flows, acquisition criteria, renovation ranges, and how this system actually works, click the button below and schedule a strategy call right now. We'll walk you through exactly what this could realistically look like for you and your goals, and if it makes sense, we'll get you into a property and moving forward quickly. We look forward to showing you how to get started with your first Section 8 property in 45 days or less, or you don't pay.